Hi everyone, it's Natalie from nellydesign.com and welcome to my craft room. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cute coasters with infusible ink. Now if you've seen my videos I've done on infusible ink, you might know that this is not my favorite product. You're gonna ask me why? Well, I find we are more limited with it. First of all, for the fabric, you need a light colored fabric that is close to 100% polyester. I don't know about you, but me and white t-shirts, nah. Although I did make a t-shirt recently and with infusible ink and it is white, and if you go on my Facebook group you can see it, and I must say it has become almost one of my favorite t-shirts. Also, infusible ink leaves no room for errors. If you move a bit, if you don't press hard enough, if you don't leave it long enough, well, you might not be 100% correct and there's like no way to correct your mistakes. And finally, let's just say it like it is. It stinks. All that to say, I'm starting to warm up to it. The colors are so bright and beautiful. You can see a home decor I made with infusible ink and aluminum sheets, and that is part of a Cricut course that I have on the engraving tip. So I will link to it right here. In my opinion, using infusible ink is really easier on objects than on fabric. And that's why I decided to try these beautiful coasters, and also made a free SVG file for you so you can make them. So you'll see now that these are in French because I also made the French file, but I do have the English version of these. The link will be in the description of the video. So let's start, but I want to warn you to stay till the end because I will tell you all the mistakes and things I forgot all along to the projects and tell you all my tips and tricks so that you don't do them yourself. So let's start by design space. You're gonna see it's very easy because we're gonna upload image, browse, and I say because I already made the mirror. So you have two SVG files. There's one that is regular and one that is written mirror in big capital letters. So you select this one because we're doing infusible ink and we need to mirror the image. Well, it's already mirrored. I absolutely don't trust myself with this because I always forget. So I did the SVG file already mirrored. Yeah. So we're gonna upload it. So the text will be, of course, not on the right side, but that's fine. And you'll see that there are two different styles. So let me zoom out a bit so you see them all. Of course, once you upload one of my files, the first thing to do is to ungroup so that you get left with the groups that I made for you. The first kind is the one that you would use maybe if you like to have less infusible ink. So you see this one will give you only the letters with the infusible ink, but these four ones, these are the ones I'm going to use, are kind of reversed. So the color will be the infusible ink and the white will be the holes, so it will be white, the letters will be white. So if you're using, let's say you're using something else, or you want to use these four ones at the top, well, these ones are grouped with a basic cut that is a round shape. So this round shape, you don't really need it, so you can close it down like this and just cut the letters. But I have made it so yeah, if you want to scale it or something, you know that the coaster is 3.5 inch. These four ones are the ones I'm gonna make, so I'm gonna just close the eyes of the four other ones because I don't need them. Now these ones, once you hit make it, if I leave it like that, design space is gonna make four mats, one for each color. So to simplify it and to cut faster, we're gonna put all the coasters on the same mat. So to do that, we're gonna color sync the coasters. Let's put them all blue like this. You just drag and drop on the blue. So now that they are all blue, we're gonna hit make it. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut pieces of infusible ink for about 4 inches wide by 4 inches wide, maybe a little bit bigger than 4 inches. And so that we don't have any troubles aligning everything and we don't go over one another, what I'm gonna do, little trick, I'm gonna put them all in their corner. So I know that if I put my infusible ink in that corner and all the pieces, one in each corner, there won't be any overlaps and it will cut in one mat. That's cool. Let's save time where we can. So we're gonna hit continue. Then it's gonna connect to my maker. And for the materials, we're going to browse and of course type infusible. You don't need to type it all. And search, and we're going to use the Infusible Ink transfer sheet. So that's done. And now it tells you to make sure you mirror. We already did that. And load the fine point blade. So we're ready to cut. So let's install this. So what I like to do is use this to rub it so that you don't put the oil in your fingers on the invisible ink. So for the weeding of the infusible ink, it's usually very easy to do. You know, the big pieces are very easy to remove, but now what we want to do is actually remove the letters and keep the outline. So the thing is, it's easy, but when you have a letter that has a circle and a little dot inside that you want to keep, sometimes it wants to come off. The D and the E, well, the center of the D and the E, it wanted to come off. So I ended up, you know, you go like this and you press on it, and really infusible ink, it wants to pop off right away like this. So it's pretty easy, but if you don't want the center of the letter to come with it, well, you need to kind of play the operation game. So I'm trying to stick the center of the letter with this tool to keep it there, and then pull with this little tweezers on the letter actually, so that I get the center stays there, but the letter comes off. A lot of patience, a lot of fun, and if the center of the letter comes with it, it's okay, just replace it. But it's usually very easy to weed infusible ink. It is easy to weed infusible ink, but for small letters like that, it's a bit of a challenge, but I'm sure it's gonna be all worth it. So let's do this. So the weeding is finished. We are ready to put it on the coasters. What you're gonna need your easy press mat, your easy press, some cardstock, and the cardstock is there to make sure that you don't the ink doesn't transfer to your mat, and that this ink, that if it transfers to your mat, goes to another project that you make right after. So we don't want that. Also, if you notice, I removed my self-healing mat. I really don't want to melt it. The temperature for the infusible ink is really hot. So by precaution, I also added this wooden board because I don't want to mess with my new desk. I have a new desk, so I don't want to mess with it. So I want to make sure I didn't do anything wrong. So I had this wooden board, but just tell you that it's totally optional. I just didn't want to take any chances. So when you're ready for the coasters have a matte surface and a glossy surface. The infusible ink is going to go on the glossy surface. Also, one thing you need to do that is very useful, you're going to go into your internet and you're going to go to Google and you're going to type Cricut heat guide. Now this heat guide, I have it right here, is really cool, and I'm going to show you. You're going to select Cricut Easy Press 2, it's the one you have. You're going to the heat transfer material, you're going to select Infusible Ink Transfer Sheet. Next, you're going to for your base material, of course, you're going to select the ceramic coaster, click the Easy Press mat that you have the Cricut Easy Press mat, and click Apply. So it's going to show you that we need to heat the Easy Press 2 at 400 Fahrenheit for 240 seconds. So it is very long, and it's going to come very hot. And you have this little graphic next to it. I'm looking at it right now to make sure I don't make any mistakes, and I strongly suggest you look at it too. So it tells you to use your Easy Press mat, put some cardstock, and then will go the infusible ink transfer sheet on that side, and then the ceramic coaster. So this is the weird thing about it. You might think that you're gonna go like this, but no. The infusible ink will be like this, and you're gonna flip the coasters and you're gonna center them, and we're gonna be putting them like this, and then we're gonna have the butcher paper and the easy press. So let's not make any mistake, and you're gonna see it's gonna become very, very hot, so we'll have everything protected. I intend to make the 4 of them together at the same time. Now, to align the ceramic coasters, it's kind of easy because I made the circle just a bit larger than the ceramic coaster, so it is easy to see that if you're in the middle or not. And what I think I'm gonna do is to just bend this like that, so to make sure that they don't move, at least on 2 sides. So that way the coaster won't move on the design. So the only thing left is to put the butcher paper on, and then one thing to know is that when you put the easy press on it, you don't need to press. You just need to lay it there and don't touch it for the timer until the timer ends. And if you hear some little birdies singing right now, I'm sorry, it's because my window is open, and because of course it will have some odors that will come from this, and you better open your window if you're doing this. So let's do it. So in order that it goes faster to cool down, you can remove the easy press mat, because this mat is really conserves the heat right there. So if you slowly remove it, you can even remove the butcher paper. So it's been 10 to 12 minutes, I think. So we're gonna take this off and see what it looks like. It was so worth it to read all these little letters. So now I want to tell you about the little problems and things I forgot. First, I had to change the font of my file because it was way too small. And the little circles and the S and the D, they were so tiny that it would pop off. The infusible ink is not like vinyl, it just doesn't want to keep these little things on it. So I changed my font and it's way better now. And the second thing is that I had something very weird that happened to me, and I wanted to show you because my infusible ink sheet, only the blue one was like that, had some bubbles in it. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see it. We see it better on the back. It's like the backing is not stuck properly to the infusible ink. And I thought, well, it's gonna work anyway, you know, no problem. Well, yeah, it didn't work. If you see it right here, it made a whole mess. It completely tear the infusible ink. So I cut another sheet of infusible ink. And what you need to do, if that happens to you, is very easy. You need to re-stick the infusible ink onto the backing. So let me show you. You're gonna pull the backing. And you see how it's kind of bended. That's exactly what happened. So the easiest thing to do is to take the roller and just roll like this and really reapply the infusible ink correctly on the backing so that there's no bubble anymore. And then it worked perfectly. So perfect. The last thing, it's something I forgot. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get really excited when I make a project and I go and forget to check the steps, and I'm sure you do the same thing. So I had this bottle right here of rubbing alcohol that was ready for me to use. I even had the little Scott towel under it. The thing is that the heat guide doesn't say to use rubbing alcohol, but Cricut recommended that on their site. So I said, well, I'm gonna do it, you know, just be a good girl and do it. And I also forgot the little lint-free cloth. So I didn't rub my coasters with rubbing alcohol or with the lint-free cloth, but it did work anyway. So I just took off the coasters from the packaging, so there weren't any lint or anything on it. So they did turn out pretty great anyway. I must say I'm very, very glad about these coasters. Seriously, they are so beautiful and so bright. I showed them to I had some friends over this weekend and I showed it to them and they were like very impressed. So I hope you try them, and please download my free SVG file to do it, and then I'll see you for the next project. Bye bye!